Let's work together. We're talking about an issue where we don't have borders here, and then I've been following this debate. It's like, okay, Zimbabweans are coming into South Africa. They're taking our jobs and stuff. And Zimbabweans are saying, South Africans, you are coming into our country. You are taking our job, guys. It's like which which age which age and which century are we living in now in. I mentioned it, a point earlier on. I was saying South Africa is a gateway to trade, and that's my point. A gateway to trade, it means a Nigerian can come to South Africa, abide by the South African laws, respect the South African people, and a South African can as well go to Zimbabwe, can go to Nigeria, can go to Tanzania, and as well as work with the locals. But now the thing is, what's happening in South Africa? It's not because there are a lot of Zimbabweans that are there, and just because there is the heat, there's a hit. Like South Africans are thinking. My personal point is like South Africans are thinking Zimbabweans are going to South Africa because their country is poor, and then they're now coming to South Africa and taking our jobs and stuff. It's not the issue of us at grassroots level. Why wouldn't we work together? Okay, as my Zimbabwean brother opened a shop. Okay, why can't I go and work in my Zimbabwean brother's shop? And he being the boss of me, I'll make money. Why can I not go to Zimbabwe and then work in a Zimbabwean store? Why is it the Indians are doing it? Why is it the Chinese are doing it? Why is it other people are doing it and we are not doing it on our own? That's my question, and that's my point.
Thank you so much.
Oh, okay, can I please respond to that?
Okay, please
I
go
hear
ahead.
you, VSA. Ne? Everything that you have been saying is true, but we are shying away from that. It's not like South Africans don't like foreigners or illegal foreigners, like foreigners. The problem here is when people come and don't respect the laws. I will show you this. In Sunnyside, Pretoria, as you said, you are South African. You know very well that there are some places that you, as a South African, you cannot go because they are Nigerians. You know that when you go there, you'll be kidnapped. And what is the government doing? Nothing. And as a people, we are getting angry and angry each and every day, and we have to act because the government is doing nothing. So there is no way that people from outside come to South Africa and boss South Africa. Imagine that people from outside are coming to South Africa first, they are illegal in South Africa, but as South Africans, we have to change direction when we have to go other ways. You understand? So another thing is when you check, people are saying that South Africa is killing Zimbabweans. People are saying that South Africans is killing illegal immigrants. Do you think that as a normal person, a South African can just wake up and go and kill? There's no way. So you see, the problem is that we don't as African, other Africans are saying that South Africa kills people, but we don't want to check the root of the problem. There's no way South African can just wake up and go and kill a person. What's the real problem there? Every time when South Africans kills another South African, the media doesn't. You won't see a fire on social media. When a Zimbabwean or a illegal foreigner kills South Africans, you won't see anything happening. But now, when South Africa have to act, all other African countries, South Africa is cursed. South Africa is this and that. Why? Because each and every time South Africans do something to illegal people, it get attention. But when those illegal people do something to South Africans, nothing is being done. So how must people act now? Because South Africa will be angry. South African will become angry and angry to a point where South Africa is in drought, and immediately one person start. You will see the xenophobic attacks of 2008 because no one is giving attention to South Africa of what they want. And South Africans, as I said, it belongs to South Africans, not Kuri. Our government will have to control us. No, if the government doesn't want to act, we will act. Thank you.
Nyandoro, Miss Nyandoro. Okay, sorry. So let me unmute you, okay? Go ahead.
Like he's saying, if really South Africans want to work with the Zimbabweans, all these organizations like Dudula and all the other organizations, why then they didn't actually call for Zimbabweans, whoever foreigners, to have a meeting together and understand exactly why are they here and how can they help
Yes.
them before attacking them. Asking them, good guys, okay, how are you here and why are you here? So that we end up working together. It's very easy for me as a Zimbabwean to identify someone who is here illegal and actually tell the relevant authorities if everything is done in the right manner. But if you start fighting and beating each other and claiming that someone is taking a job, I don't know other industries, but I can tell you here in South Africa, most of the industries, people they get paid the same rate that everyone is getting. I don't know with others if they are there where people are not getting the same salary. But why can't we just make a like a group of foreigners and South Africans to do like everyone and listen to each other and actually listen? Do really these people need to be in South Africa? What is it that is forcing them to be in South Africa? Because I can tell you, there are some people who are just coming here from Zimbabwe. They don't even know where they are going. They don't even know what they are going to do. But there is something which is causing it. Of course, it's them who is supposed to fix their government. But guys, let's be honest. It's not easy for just an ordinary person to go and fix and talk to the government. You cannot. I think there are so many people who had never even had the chance to be even 1 kilometer next to the parliament. So, I mean, let's be real. People, you've got a genuine cause, like Nanta, you've got a genuine cause, like what I was saying, you've got a genuine cause. It needs to be addressed. They need to actually listen to that young man and actually he contribute to them those, because at the end of the day, even him, he needs support for whatever he's advocating for to actually come right. He needs support from the same government that we are talking of.
Can I respond to my sister in respect?
Okay, okay. Yes. JJ, are you
Look,
there? Okay, go ahead, Lozi.
what I hate most about this kind of panels, especially when Africans are discussing the issues in South Africa, we always approach this issue as if South Africa is a primary source of the problem. Remember, South Africa is a secondary source of the problem here. The problem starts in the countries where these Africans come from. The other Africans running to South Africa come from. So if we're going to always keep on addressing the root, I mean, the branch where the root is the problem, we're not addressing it. That's a big problem. Now, the Zimbabwean brother, they will ask us, South Africa need to intervene and help Zimbabwe. Remember, Zimbabwe is also a sovereign state. There is laws that are governing sovereign states, and these laws are written by the powerful nations like UN, right? South Africa cannot just wake up and turn a wheel in Zimbabwe. The same brother from Nigeria will ask us, can South Africa change Nigeria? The same brother from Congo will ask us, can South Africa do the same? Burundi, Togo, you name them all. South Africa is a one country. We need to take responsibility as a continent, not push everything down South Africa. It's becoming a burden to us. It's becoming a burden to every South African born that we have to carry the burden of Africa. We are blamed left, right, but no one is addressing why South Africans are running to South Africa in millions in the first place, whereas South Africans are not doing the opposite. The issue, South Africa is a secondary problem. The primary problem is African countries and their leaders. That's what we should also look and discuss. Not always South Africa, not always South Africa xenophobia, this and this. Xenophobia is the outcome of the problem, it's not the root.
Okay.
All right. I have a point to add. Sorry, Miss Haas. I have a point to add on that. I agree with my brother here. But now, South Africans are carrying the burden on their own. Why can't we carry this burden as normal people? You still remember, like, let's get back into history. Southern Africa. That's why we have this community of SADC. And I personally believe like everybody in SADC is willing to work with South Africa. Why? Because like South Africa is like the connection, and like just because you are the connection, everybody's rushing to South Africa because like the Americans go there, the English people go there. They is the World Trade Center of African unity. That's why everybody's rushing there. That's the root problem. And because we don't have anything in our homes, and we need to go where the cream is. The cream is there because we, the African brothers, are contributing to the South Africans, to the South African economy. That's why everybody's rushing there. But now South Africa has a problem, and this problem, South Africans are saying, "Oh, we can fix this problem on our own." Why can't you say, "Okay, you guys are coming here"? I would personally say this from a Zimbabwean perspective. No Zimbabwean who works in South Africa legally would allow an illegal Zimbabwean to work in South Africa, because Zimbabweans know the law. And most people who go to South Africa and work illegally, it's because they went there to work illegally. And if I am a Zimbabwean brother working in South Africa illegally, I would also allow somebody to come there illegally. But if I'm working there illegally, I would know the proper channels, and I would try to do the proper channels. So what I'm saying is, I'm advocating for something. Let's do something as normal people, as like from grassroots level. Let's do the proper channels. Okay, we know the laws of South Africa. All right, if you want to come to South Africa, do your work permit, do whatever you need to do. Do your papers, do your papers upfront. Do all the stuff you need to do. Then it's simple. We can do this. And then it doesn't mean that because the problem is in South Africa now, it doesn't mean that there are no illegal South Africans in Zimbabwe. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean there are no illegal uh, foreigners in Zambia, in Nigeria. It's only just because the heat is just starting in South Africa, because it's the hub, it's where everything is happening. But then if you want to go like around, you want to trace, it's happening everywhere, from Southern Africa to Central Africa to Middle Africa, even up to Ethiopia. The media doesn't focus on this, just because South Africa is the hot pot of that's why you guys are in BRICS. Why is it that South Africa is in BRICS? Why is it South Africa, the economy is rated with most of the bigger economies in the world? It's because it's the connection point.
Yeah, but
Okay.
my guy, can I respond?
Mm.
Can I just respond to that? Look,
Okay.
at the end of the day, I understand what you're saying, right? I understand the system was set earlier or in South Africa, even infrastructure-wise, through colonial. I understand that. But look, let's look at the model of Namibia and Botswana. They are standing. They still depend on South Africa, but they're not burdening us with certain responsibilities. It's all about the issue here is the government of Zimbabwe has failed Zimbabweans. The government of South Africa is the most powerful government in Africa. We obviously, all of us, we think the government of South Africa should have done its role in making sure that Zimbabwe stand, because if Zimbabwe doesn't stand, just like Mozambique, they're gonna affect South Africa. They gonna, just what's happening. When Zimbabwe was doing well, Zimbabweans were not running to South Africa in millions. We can agree to that. Currently, South Africa has been issuing letters to USA to consider the sanctions in Zimbabwe, the current sanctions in Zimbabwe. Those are not, the sanctions have been going on for the longest time. And South Africa can turn a wheel in Africa, because I don't think there's any African country that can afford to vote against South Africa. So there we've got a privilege to play and stand against USA and say, look, it's done now. It's over with the sanctions in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe needs to be lifted, because that's going to benefit South Africa as well. And when
That's
Zimbabwe
why I mentioned BRICS. That's why I mentioned BRICS. Why is it South Africa is in BRICS?
BRICS it's a whole different ball game. The BRIC
playing a
the
bigger part.
The BRICS is more of the communist side. It comes back even in apartheid, where Russia, China, just Cuba is not there, but those countries like Russia, China, and India, they did support South Africa. So their relationship dates back. It has got nothing to do with the Western. Remember, the problem is the Western here. The problem is the Western holding African countries ransom, those that don't agree with them. South Africa has played a careful card. We played our cards carefully since 1994, but we are also under pressure. They are watching us. At the moment, we also went neutral on the issue of Ukraine and Russia. That's going to have an impact on us in the near future, especially if Russia loses everything. So you need to consider both sides. So we need to push fast now, by removing the sanctions in Zimbabwe, because that's gonna benefit us.
Then how are you going to do that if you're burning Zimbabweans? That's my point.
What?
Let's work together.
What are you saying?
Like, if you're going to remove some sanctions in Zimbabwe, why burn
Yeah.
Zimbabwean people? Like, let's
That
work
has got
together.
that's the most irrational thing to say. That has got nothing to do. We are talking at the government level here. Why is our government of South Africa banning the government of Zimbabwe? What kind of reasoning is that? You are not reasoning straight. We're talking about government collaborating with the next government. We're not talking about individuals that are doing crime. Why are you reasoning like that's not?
If I'm saying Malema, I'm saying okay, let's do it. All right, let's talk. I personally, I'm not South African, but I support the Malema point of view. It's like South Africans for South Africans. Now I've been watching statistics, and I don't know how true this is, but then from these social media things that I've been seeing, they always saying like 5% of the South African land is owned by black South Africans, and the rest is owned by whether Indians, whether those other. And I was angry personally. That's why I'm saying like.
Nah, look. Can I respond to you? Because that's just fresh. That's like propaganda. The largest portion of land in South Africa, it's owned by South African government, and it was always like that even during apartheid. The second largest owner of land in South Africa, it's our chiefs and kingdoms through the tribal home owners. White South Africans own the largest land in farming land where the production is happening, and they also own large land in where the economic hubs are happening, like closer to the cities. There is no, you can go through Google and everywhere, there's no information that cites that white South Africans own 70% of the land. That's nearly impossible. And remember, South Africa was never entirely colonized, because black South Africans are one of the most resilient blacks in Africa. We literally fought so many wars with the colonizers, and some of them we won. So there was never a point where they just took the land of South Africa like open like that. It was the war. They took as much as they can, but some land they couldn't take. So the largest land in South Africa is owned by the government, the tribal authorities, and then the whites, they own land where the economic activities are happening. They own large land there. Here's the thing. The other thing I need to mention with you, to my African brothers, Johannesburg Stock Exchange is the largest stock exchange in Africa, JSE. Black South Africans control more than 35% of direct investments there. That's the most wealthiest investment portfolio in Africa. So we need to start doing proper research and not take what is there to make us feel good, because most Africans, they try so hard to belittle South Africans. They desperately want to believe these things. It's not true. It's just not true.
Okay, Mr. Nyandoro.
Yeah, I think the gentleman must actually do proper research. There is no sanctions in Zimbabwe. Collapse of Zimbabwe is nothing to do with sanctions. You must do proper research and leave the propaganda of ZANU-PF. There is no sanctions in Zimbabwe. The sanctions in Zimbabwe are targeting individuals, which has got nothing to do with Zimbabwe. You must understand that. So don't go about saying they must remove sanctions. There's never been sanctions in Zimbabwe. And for all fact, there's the ZANU-PF is the one which called for sanctions. If you remember, if you know history, it was Edson Zobo who called for sanctions against Ian Smith. So sanctions is not something that just come yesterday.
Nyandoro, I think you don't understand. I think you don't understand how the Western works. You need to be careful with what you just said.
No. It seems you don't understand what is happening in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is leadership crisis. It's not about sanctions. It's not collapsing because of sanctions.
Zimbabwe is not directly open to trade with every country. What the Western does is that they tell you that we have sanctioned your leaders. They sanction the people who are most powerful, who's supposed to be moving goods out of your country. How's
those
that?
Who are powerful, those who were given sanctions in Zimbabwe, they deserve it. They're the thieves of Zimbabwe. People who are stealing from the Zimbabweans. So they deserve to be given those sanctions. And remember, Zimbabweans are flooding in South Africa because it's the government of this country which actually opted to give them free permits.